go through it without having empathy.
Yeah, man.
Like, just understanding from what that feels like to lose somebody like that.
Somebody that important to you, somebody you cared that much for, somebody that was that imperative to your own personal growth. You know what I mean? Like imagine like the conversation they had. You know what I'm saying? Like
they soulmates. Like that's a whole nother.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Even people who don't, I guess, know who Nipsey is. Like that energy.
You can feel that pain. Though.
You feel that pain.
You can feel that. That grief, like you said, like grieving is the last form of love, man.
The fact that she was like, every time we want to talk to my soul shakes. Like, because it's like she don't even have to.
I was gonna say she doesn't even have to be talking, dog.
None of this shit.
She doing it because this is what he stood for, man. She doing it because she understands, or at least she feels that this is her duty to do this.
Yes.
And his passing, you know what I mean?
Exactly, because she's not even like a vocal.
Like activist, anything like that.
She's just like Lauren, like low key.
Right.
Her personality is not even a celebrity as her name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, dang.
But at this point, like she's like, my job changed. You know what I mean?
Off top.
Yeah. My whole mission changed.
Have work to do.
Now I gotta push the marathon. Marathon continue, dog.
Man.
This shit like that. That shit like that made me. It hits me in a spot where I can't deal with it. I can't process that emotion. It makes me want to cry. Like
it's like, I can't explain. We were saying this earlier. Like it's not like he got like died of natural causes or like drowned or something.
It's like you're left with a question. You left with a question, dog.
It was really like he was taken away.
Somebody came up and made a decision that day. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know. I'm a whole conspiracy theory baby. So I just never think it is what it says it is.
Right.
On top. And it's like, for this man's influence to be so high, like, you don't want to like say conspiracy or put any type of label on it, but it just don't make sense on why he would be taken away like that.
And at this time,
like, exactly, at this perfect point in time. Like, just in terms of elevation for black people. Like, we're being watched. Like, we're being, like calculated. Like, it's literally like a chessboard. Like, and then just, like, for people who wasn't super fans, like, they may or may not be super fans now, but, like, after breaking down his music and listening to, like, his lyrics was literally telling you what he was thinking in terms of, like, how important the message was and how much it was influencing, yes, the people, but the higher up people as well. Like, the people who probably can't even touch or understand, like, how they think. Like,
and I feel like that's where the impact comes from. It's like, that's why 2 weeks later, everyone's like still dealing with it. Like, man, he was talking about this 6 years ago. He was talking about this the whole time. He kept it real. He could have, like, he realized how rare it was, you know what I mean? And how rare his energy was in music, you know what I mean? Not even just in entertainment, but like in rap music, in the community. A lot of that stuff wasn't highlighted, man. He wasn't pushing like Vector 90 or pushing the store that all like that, acting crazy. He just did it for the community.
Like, he was really just in there, like, the people, I don't know how to explain it, like, I'm a real strong believer in informants. Like, I don't know, like, when you get to a certain level, literally, like, anybody can be just out to get you on some negative. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it could be somebody interviewing you. It could be, like, you know, that person that you meet at the restaurant when you go with the crew. Like, it's just so many little pockets of information that we don't know. But, like, he was literally becoming a superstar. Like, Nipsey was already famous, Nipsey in the hood, due to, like,
he was a West Coast legend, West Coast OG type thing, like.
Exactly.
But he wasn't signed to a label, so he didn't have label promotion. You know what I mean?
And he switched his affiliation celebrity to like real businessman celebrity. Like, I'm not just gang affiliated, bro. Like, I'm really in here. Like, I'm really in here doing stuff like educating and elevating black business and
like him getting the Grammy nod last year was such a big peak in his career, man. Like. That's probably not even something I'm sure he saw it, but I'm sure that.
But man, then it's also, I don't know, like, I think some of those things probably will never come out. But I think some of those things scare Nip in his spirit, like, cause he know, like, man, I'm at a level, like, I'm usually getting, to a certain level, which means it's being watched and heard by people at a certain level who can make certain decisions. And, like, although that's why he's so humble, like, that's why he was such a humble spirit, and it is, because I still can't even really put him in the past tense, but, like, that's why he's such a humble spirit, because he knows what it is. Like, he knows, like, at certain levels, not to take certain things too serious, or, like, how to not over-congratulate himself, because he know, like, where this is coming from, how this is going, like, what route we about to take. And I think he knew, like when his mother spoke today, she was very, very, very strong, but I feel like it's because she's very intuitive, like she said.
She
like,
knew.
She knew, like,
yeah.
And being a soul like that, you know it's near, it's coming, or you might not know because we've never died before, but it's almost like your spirit has, like, it's a journey that we're on specifically. And when it's that time, like, you'll subconsciously probably start to do certain things, like, that you probably wouldn't do, like he said, telling her he loved her in certain moments of the day, but he really don't do that. Like, his personality is just like, or coming to see certain parts of the family, like bringing bringing his daughter to his grandmother, like, early in the morning. That started happening. Like, it's certain things you just start to do intuitively different, because you moving different. Your matrix is shifting, but it's shifting in a certain type of way, like, to
get shit done. It's that you got, at that point your mind sees a deadline. It's like, I only have this much time. You know what I mean? I gotta start making moves now, and a lot of that shit isn't gonna be conscious because it don't make sense. Because that shit like that will make you go crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit like, they literally make you go crazy.
Exactly. But it's like, man, I don't know. Like, anybody who was ever deemed a legend, I bet you they go through. Like, that's why Biggie wrote Warning. Like, Warning is a great reference song to being at a certain level, but you just know it's niggas watching. It can be your niggas, like regular people from the hood, or the feds. Like,
you like, man, I'm a target. You know what I mean? You gotta understand the magnitude of what you are actually doing. Nip, that's the thing, dude. Nip always knew the magnitude of his vision, man. He always talked about it like it was that's why he called it the marathon, because he knew it won't never stop. And he knew it was gonna be times where it should stop, where people would expect it to stop, and there is no option there. He knew it was gonna have to continue. And I feel like, if anything, man, he always talked about time, man. And I feel like he knew that he would go one day, but he knew that people would be around to continue, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, dude knew a lot more than he let on. And you see that stuff in his music. It's almost like he was prophesizing his future in a lot of his music, man. Even old Pop Mailbox Money and Crenshaw, he was straight prophesizing over that shit. And then on Victory Lap, it's like he's almost like he's just showing you, like, yeah, this is what happened. In case you didn't notice, like, this is what's been going on. This is everything I said was gonna happen 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's happening right now.
And it's so crazy because it almost seemed like he fought so hard to get to this level. Like, the real marathon was happening when he was making the mixtapes.
Yup.
Like,
10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Real, like a roundup of all of that. Like, because he was really putting in that work, that ground level blueprint work. Like, when the mixtapes was coming out, and they was strong mixtapes, like,
production strong.
Mixtapes. So it's just like, yo, like, for him to know that Victory Lap was the height of all of that. Like, okay, I'm not done. Like, I'm giving you this one, and I'm still not done. Like, I got a lot in me to say. And it was just like, damn, like, when Victory Lap came out, it was like, shit, bro, you're not even done. Like, you low-key just started, but this is a classic album, like, classic.
Dog.
Still at the top, like.
For real. It should have won the Grammy last year. The only reason I feel that it didn't is because Cardi had such success on the charts, which is acceptable. You know what I mean? I understand that's the way shit work. But, like, otherwise, Nip had the best hip hop album last year. The best hip hop rap album.
No, like, niggas really know. Like,
I had this conversation with somebody about 2 months ago. They asked me who was a greater West Coast legend, The Game or Nipsey, and off rip I said Nipsey. And it was a matter of me understanding the fact that people from the West, I'm not from the West, and though I may know more about the game and see the game more, It's because the game was signed. The game was promoted by a label. Nipsey was in the fucking streets. So the streets know Nipsey. You know what I mean? The streets respect Nipsey. And dude, I remember I argued with somebody about this. They was like, man, for real, but the game. I'm like, nah, man. To ask somebody from the West Coast,
For real.
and they gonna tell you who the greatest OG
Nipsey,
is.
because even on that label shit, like he had signed to Sony and
Yup.
he unsigned himself.
Yup.
Like,
Yeah.
what was up? Like, okay, now pause. I don't really like this way.
Yup.
Let me figure this out. Like, this is somebody who really like made their first million from mixtape money. Like, come on, like, was in a label deal, said, nah, B,
I'm straight.
let me strategize and figure out how I can really make my first million. Like, cause he wasn't shy from making money.
No.
And that's the thing, like with this type of stuff, like you gotta know how to make money and be sustainable without, I don't want to say the industry, but without the industry, because it's
Without the template given to you by you got to think open-minded and be open to ways to get that money rather than follow the blueprint or the path. You know what I mean?
if you want longevity in it, because it's like if you don't have your own blueprint and mark your own like path, you're gonna be controlled. Like at this point, it's kind of like, what are you entering the game of music for if you're not trying to be independent? Like, why are you trying to go any other route but independent? Like it's almost like you're not about to be respected right now in the future if you don't go that independent route.
Yeah.
Like if he wouldn't have been a rapper that was like relative enough for us to understand and like dumb that down for niggas to really understand on a lower level, that would not be understood as an artist. Like
No.
it's imperative to be an independent artist and own the rights to your music. Like it would make no sense to have it any other way. Like
I mean, you, at that point, you own the rights to creating that music as well. You know what I'm saying? You look at a lot of people, they can't even drop music that they want to because it's not fitting to the expectations of the label. You know what I mean? Nip never had that. Nip set his own expectations. That's why he spit the same